Hello everyone, thank you guys so much for tuning into this informational video for your challenge number. My name is JOCELYN, and again, I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Also, thank you guys so much for all your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. It is greatly appreciated. So, your challenge number. Let me start off by saying the word challenge is not a bad thing. This is just something that means that you will have to overcome something, okay, that you're going to be faced with. Is to overcome any type of fears, doubts, obstacles within your life. God or the universe will set you up with some type of test so that you can overcome it. So it's not meant to be a hard thing. Life is meant to be easy. So the word challenge, once you can embrace that word and once you can accept what it really means and the true meaning of the word, then you can become highly successful. It's only hard if you are rejecting that word. If you are saying, oh, challenge means, oh, I'm a fail. If you say that, then you're going to fail. Okay. So I just wanted to start off by saying that because I know when people see that word, they get intimidated, they get fearful. And that is what a challenge is for, so that you can overcome those fear-based thoughts. Okay. So this is the only number in your numerology chart that uses subtraction to calculate your number. Okay. So you only use subtraction in challenge numbers. And just like your pinnacle cycle number, it is broken up between 4 different periods. The only difference is with your challenge numbers, it's an approximate. It doesn't have any like specific time frames that you will go through these particular lessons, okay? Let me not even say challenges, lessons. So during this particular period, the third challenge is the main overall energy, okay? So let me start off by just saying that. So that is the energy that is going to be felt through the duration of your entire life. Now, your first challenge is approximately, well, it is from birth, but it's approximately will end until maybe about 30 to 35 years of age. And this number is the difference between your birth month and your birth date. So, for example, if your birthday is May 1st, you would subtract 5 minus 1, which gives you a 4, and that will be your first challenge, is a 4. Now, challenge number 2 is roughly, like I said, from like 30 to 35 years of age to about 55 to 60 years of age. So it'll be a roughly around that time. And that is the difference between only your birthday and your year. So with my example, May 1st, let's say May 1st, 1990. You will add you would subtract 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 0, and that will give you that challenge number. So your third challenge, again, is the main challenge, is the one that you will be feeling throughout your lifetime. So that is the difference between your first challenge and your second challenge. So it'll be the difference. So let's say your first challenge is a 4, your second challenge is a 2. 4 minus 2 equals 2. So your third challenge of a 2 is going to be felt out throughout your life. Okay. You may have like different tests here or there to learn those particular lessons so that you can remember. Okay. This is what you're going to have to go throughout. Okay. Also, the fourth challenge, last but not least, the fourth challenge is going to be felt from maybe about that 55, 60 years of age through your departure, through your transition. So it's going to be felt the remainder of your life, the latter years. And that is going to be the difference between your birth month and your birth year. Only the month, only the year. So in my example, May 1st, it will be 5 minus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 0. Okay, so you will add the year, but you will subtract that month. Okay, let me get that clear. And then it's no negative numbers. So you'll just subtract it. So whatever the bigger number is, that's the number that you subtract. Okay, so let's say your birthday is like May 9th. Instead of you saying 5 minus 9, it gives you a negative 4. No, you will say 9 minus 5 is a 4. Okay, so it's no negative integers in that. Also, if you do have a challenge number of a 0, that is very common. So don't be alarmed by that. There is a such thing as 0. And there are only 9 numbers in this particular lesson. So there's no master number. So even if you do add up to an 11, you don't have a master number 11. It'll just be a 2. So it'll be, the numbers are represented 0 through 8, okay? 9 is a challenge number, but 9 is also has the representation or the energy as a 0. So if you have a 9, you'll just look at what 0 means, okay? And then that'll be the numbers. And the only reason why that is because 9 and 0 have like the same representation. They have the same characteristics. So with that being said, let's move on to your challenge number. If you have a challenge number 2 in any pinnacle in your chart, you are too worried about what other people think about you. You fear being talked about, and you want everybody to see the good within you. For example, you may care too much of other people's expectations. You may ask people's opinions a lot when really no one else's opinions matter, because you're going to be faced with doing those things. So for example, you may ask someone, what am I supposed to eat for dinner tonight? And someone tells you what to eat, you'll eat that. But you got to understand that this is going into your body. So what do your body feels? What do you want to eat? You care too much about things like that. You also may care too much about like the love and the friendship, and you may always ask your friends and your partners and your family members, are you still in love with me? What's going on? How do you feel about me today? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And it's kind of like, those questions are fine to ask every once in a while, but then you kind of have to be comfortable within your own skin within this particular pinnacle. You're learning that. You're learning how to be okay even when someone says that they don't like you. Sometimes you may get offended when someone says, you know what, I don't really like you. You may take that to a personal offense. Don't do that. If they don't like you, that's because they don't know the true you. So either you could stand up for yourself and show them the true you, or more than likely you just need to move on, because no one else's opinions matter. There are going to be people in your life that is not going to really like your energy. They're not going to really like the way you dress. They're not going to like the way you think, and you have to be okay with that. And this challenge number is to let you know, be okay with loving yourself. Be okay with, just being who you are. In this particular pinnacle as well, you are a little overly sensitive and dramatic at times, and you allow your feelings and emotions to play a big role in your life. So, and that's fine. Your emotions are what drives us to do certain things, okay? That is what the human body has. That's why we have the 5 senses, is to, okay, how do I feel about this? How does this taste to me? How does it smell to me? And what am I seeing? What am I hearing? So that's fine that you are into your emotions and your senses like that. But at the same time, you get too overly dramatic if somebody says, well, they don't like you. Or you get a little sensitive when people aren't really doing how you would treat someone. You feel very offended. Even if you see someone else getting mistreated or getting bullied, you sensitize with that person and say, well, I will never do that to you. Like, and it's not, you're not in that situation. So you have to learn that in this particular pinnacle. Challenge is all about learning. It's not the word challenge is not to scare you and not to say, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to overcome this? Yes, you are. You are going to be able to overcome it. You just have to understand that you're doing these things. It's a lesson to understand. It's not to be thrown at you. If you do see it coming, if you see it being thrown at you, catch it. You get what I'm saying? So just don't allow these things to drive you to where you can say, I'm faced with all this. Like, why don't people like me? You get what I'm saying? So things that have been a lot of simpler solutions for you, you may over exaggerate them. Like, for example, if you don't have enough money to pay a bill, instead of you actually going out and getting the money to pay the bill, you sit there and cry and say, I don't have enough money. No, get up and find some money. Money grows on trees, so you can actually find the money if you don't have it. You can lean on people, depend on people to be there for you. Instead of you just crying about it, just go and ask someone, hey, do you have a few extra bucks that I can borrow to pay to get my bill paid, and I'll pay you back. Instead of you calling that person crying, oh my God, I don't have enough to pay my bills. Like, kind of, get some type of simple solutions when it comes to things like that. Or even better yet, for example, if you're hungry, instead of this is the energy I feel like that gets hangry a lot. Like, instead of you actually just getting up, going to get something to eat, you get angry. And I'm just angry like this because I'm hungry. Just go get something to eat. Those are simple solutions. So you may tend to over exaggerate those things as well. But because you are overly sensitive during this particular pinnacle, if you do balance your senses correctly, you will develop a keen awareness or your intuition. Like, your intuition will start developing once you like take a deep breath. Once you take a step back, like, okay, I feel this type of way about this certain situation. Instead of me reacting to it, let me take a step back before I do. And then you can analyze the situation. And then that's when your intuition comes in and tells you what you need to do and how you need to assess certain things. But you will have to know the difference as well of using your intuition and making assumptions. So, for example, if someone treats you a certain type of way, or if you say hey to someone and they don't say hey back, instead of you automatically assuming that that person doesn't like you, your intuition may tell you maybe that person really didn't hear you, or maybe that person is having a bad day and don't want to really say anything to anybody. That does not mean that you have to make the assumption because that person didn't say hey back that they don't like you. You can just use your intuition, and your intuition will let you know how to move through these type things, or what to say to this person. Like, is everything okay? I said hey to you this morning, you didn't say hey back. Did you hear me? And then the person can be like, oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Hey, how's it going? And then you can guys have a conversation. That's just for example. Being a 2 as well in this particular pinnacle is that yin energy. It's like that feminine principle, or like that dark side, which represents your emotions, how you really feel on the inside. So get in touch with those deeper emotions more so that you can better understand yourself in this particular pinnacle. So you will be faced with a lot of things like that about your senses, how you're feeling. That moon energy is going to be really present for you in this particular cycle, because that 2 energy is so that you can overcome the energy, so that you can best understand not only other people, but yourself as well.